Hello everyone, welcome to China Overview, and I'm Zhang Fangwei from Beijing University of Posts and Telecommunications. Today we'll continue to learn the previous topic, the traditional Chinese medicine. Before that, let's have a very quick review of what we have discussed in the previous two lessons. I think in the first lesson, we talked about the philosophies behind the traditional Chinese medicine. Do you still remember what are the schools of philosophies that influenced TCM? That is the Taoism, the Buddhism, and the Confucianism. And in the previous lesson, we also introduced two ancient doctors. The first one is Shen Nongshi, who is said to taste hundreds of herbs and died, and who invented tea. We also introduced another famous doctor whose name is Sun Simiao. He was born in Tang Dynasty and he wrote two classical medical books. And today we will continue to learn the traditional Chinese medicine. And today we will learn the second subtopic, that is the basic theories of the traditional Chinese medicine. And in order to help you understand a very general picture of the theories behind or the theories of the traditional Chinese medicine, we will analyze that from the 5 aspects. The first one is the foundation works of TCM, and then we'll talk about yin and yang theory and the 5 elements. We also talk about the holistic view of the TCM and the qi. And for today's lesson, I think we'll mainly cover the first 2 aspects, the foundation works of TCM and the yin and yang theory. In the previous lesson, I think I showed you this picture, right? 皇帝内经. So 皇帝内经is called the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon. It's a comprehensive anthology of medical principles, medical theories, and prescriptions. It's written in the form of a dialogue. Very interesting, right? It's an amalgamation of the accomplishments in ancient Chinese medical science. It's a collection of various outstanding theories of TCM. So if you want to learn TCM, I strongly recommend you read this book. It has an English version. And let's see some details. The Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon consists of 2 parts. 素问, questions and the fundamental nature, and the 灵数, it's about the spiritual power. It has 162 chapters in all. It's based on the theory of yin and the yang, and yin and the yang is a very important thing in traditional Chinese culture. We'll discuss this soon. And also the 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Have you ever heard of that before? We'll also discuss in the future classes. And the theory of that human and nature as one. And I think I have already mentioned this theory in the Taoism, right? Taoism regarded that human should live in harmony with nature. We should respect nature and follow the principles and the rules of nature and heaven, right? And just now I mentioned that it has an English version, that's this one. It has been treated as a supreme classic and the fundamental doctrine source of TCM. The book holds a record of being continuously studied and used for the over 2,000 years. The influence of the book goes beyond the Chinese border. It's regarded as a most valuable work in the medical history of the world. And then we move on to talk about the yin and the yang theory. Yin and the yang theory is regarded as the foundation of traditional Chinese medicine. The earliest reference to yin and the yang is in I Ching, and I think a lot of foreign students or a lot of foreigners have already heard of I Ching. The theory informs how diagnoses are made and underpins the physiology, pathology, and the treatment of illness. So what is yin and yang? Let's see. This is a very vivid picture to show the relationship between yin and yang. The ancient scholars observed 2 phases of constant and cyclical change. They described it in this way: yin changes into yang, and the yang back into yin. And as you can see in the picture, yin is in the yang and the yang is in the yin, right? So that's the relationship between yin and the yang. So you might ask, So teacher, what is regarded as yin, what is regarded as yang? Now let's see this one. So a few general qualities of yin and yang. I think yin and yang is very abstract. So I'm trying to give you some examples to help you understand yin and yang. So yin refers to the cool, rest, moist, earth, and the dark. And the yang, sometimes like warm, active, dry, sky, bright. These things are regarded as yang. Let's see 4 aspects of yin and yang. That's the relationship between yin and yang. That is, we need to understand the opposition of yin and yang, the interdependence of yin and yang, the mutual consumption of yin and yang, and the intertransformation of yin and yang. And for this part, it's very hard for you to understand, right? So I provided a video for you, and you can watch that now.
要么乌黑内敛，见证伉俪白首与共的一生；白酒纯净馥郁，映照出光阴的美。 黑芝麻香浓滋补，粒粒皆是母子情深；而白果不慌不忙，用3代的时间长成一片森林。阴阳调和的岁月丹青，书写了人生中的至情至性。
So after watching this video, let's see what is discussed, or let's try to have a summary or refresh your memory. So all phenomena in the universe are the result of the interplay between yin and yang. Every phenomenon contains within itself both aspects in different degrees of manifestation. Energy and matter are but 2 states of a continuum with an infinite possible number of states of aggregation. So I have one assignment for you. After today's lesson, try to find more examples of yin and yang, and we'll discuss that in the next hour. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.